Data protection, advanced data protection, advanced data protection. Advanced data protection is our most advanced form of protection for customers' personal data.
It's advanced and it has to do with data. That's Apple's senior VP of software engineering talking to the Wall Street Journal about the new iCloud encryption feature. It's simple. Say I upload a selfie with my dog Dutch to the cloud. There's the two of us together. That picture is now encrypted with a key. Previously, Apple could access it with the same key, but under the new feature, they can't. Not them, not the police, not a hacker. Nobody can see it but me and any contacts I share it with. It's encrypted with the key. The feature would be extremely useful for protesters, say, in China. They're risking their lives to demand freedom from the regime. Police regularly look through protesters' phones, so you can imagine how top-tier encryption would come in handy for them. Any evidence of support for the protesters land you in jail or worse. Your family is often tortured as well. Apple says, though, they plan to offer the feature, and listen, worldwide.
Does that include China?
Oh, yeah, we believe so. We want to roll out across the world.
Do you know how the Chinese government feels about this?
They have not told me.
No, they haven't told you. But we'll go ahead and break the news to you now. Beijing is never going to allow this. We know that because Beijing doesn't allow Apple's current encryption. Apple CEO Tim Cook is an extension of Chinese strongman Xi Jinping. He censors and surveils for Xi. He gives the Chinese government access to everything on every iPhone in China. And he tried to undermine a slave labor crackdown in China by the U.S. government. Call it a coincidence, perhaps, that Apple is now rolling out an encryption feature to people who don't exactly need it. Rob Lockwood is here, privacy advocate, media strategist, former RNC spokesperson. Rob, it's always good to see you. It's almost unbelievable to say, oh, we don't know how the Chinese feel about this.
Yeah, I think he said, well, I believe they will. I mean, it seemed like he was hedging from the jump. And I know the Wall Street Journal article today said, or from yesterday, said that they plan to unroll it in China, which is something you would want to say. Whether they do that or not, I'm very, very, very skeptical at this point that they would actually do so. And like you said, the Chinese would never allow it.
How do we explain that Apple seems so intent on protecting everyone's privacy and advertising on privacy on and on and on in the United States and in Europe, where we have constitutional guarantees that protect that? So whether or not you need this level of encryption is debatable. And yet they offer none of these protections in China where the people actually need it.
Yeah, so a lot of different things we could talk about all night here. But I do think that encryption is very important, first of all, to free society, to people who want freedom. You were just I did a segment on Russia and the Victor Bout deal. Talk to anybody in the Ukraine. When Russia started their invasion, the first thing that the Ukrainians did was they turned to encrypted messaging app. They turned to VPNs. They turned to other encrypted technologies that leverage encryption because they knew that they would be safe from authoritarian governments, from the Russian forces who wanted to intercept their communications and their messages. And so that's an extreme example overseas of where encryption is necessary for current survival. But I think free society in America, it's good that we have encryption. I think what's interesting, though, is that Apple is doing this now, today, or yesterday, December 7th or 8th, after they've had a horrific news cycle talking about how, or being forced to deal with coverage about how they're screwing over the Chinese protesters and everybody in China overall, because in China, Apple's data is kept on servers that are owned by state-owned entities. They don't even have encryption. They completely abandon the technology over there. And so Apple now is trying to change the discussion, which is textbook crisis communications. If you don't have a good answer, change the conversation. And so they've taken a lot of heat for being terrible on privacy overseas, and they're trying to say, hey, look, we're going to be
now we're going to do it. Now we're going to roll out all these features in the United States. Apple vowed to resist the FBI demand to crack the iPhone linked to the San Bernardino terrorist attacks.
Yes.
They now have the FBI saying this hinders our ability to protect the American people from criminal acts ranging from cyber attacks and violence against children to drug trafficking, organized crime, and terrorism. At the same time, you can take this too far. And at some point, we all sign up as Americans to the idea that if the FBI goes and gets a search warrant for our phone, they should be able to find out if they have reasonable suspicion and a judge signs off on it, whether or not there's child pornography on phones or the like. How is this not China enabling a dictator on one end and enabling criminals on the other? Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.